everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be watching Columbo Season 2, Episode 4, Dagger of the Mind. As you can see, I am in a very awkward filming location for today. It's not ideal, it's kind of uncomfortable, so we're just going to make do with what we have, and hopefully I won't cramp up my legs or mess up my neck in this awkward filming position. Okay, so Dagger of the Mind, we're gonna go ahead and watch this one, but heads up, I was fortunate enough to visit a filming location in this episode last spring, also known as Greystone Mansion. It is a hotspot filming location for a bunch of television series and movies. At the end of today's video, I will show you guys some footage and some pictures I got during my time there. Why did I just hit the mic? So make sure you stay till the end of this video today to check out that footage and get a little bit of history on Greystone Mansion. This episode premiered November 26, 1972. Its guest stars were Richard Basehart, Wilfred Hyde-White, Bernard Fox, John Williams, not that John Williams, this John Williams, Honor Blackman, and John Fraser. The Dagger of the Mind episode description is: Columbo journeys to London to observe Scotland Yard, but winds up investigating murders committed by two Shakespearean actors. Not the generic British-sounding music. Sounds like Muppets Christmas Carol. John Williams. Side tangent, I did watch the new documentary on John Williams the other night, the one on Disney Plus, and it is quite excellent. Highly recommend.
The character is not a pauper, so that can go.
All right, we will change.
He dodged that crown throw so smoothly.
Miss Dudley, why don't you bring her back to my dressing room late?
Nicky?
Oh yeah, they're like, they both are actively cheating on each other, aren't they?
We'll do whatever you say. Aren't we always the little lambs?
Nick, are you smashed?
Nick, are you smashed?
Now, off to the pub, everyone. Tonight's only dress rehearsal, remember?
Nick, are you smashed? Lover. They are so annoying. I'm sorry. There's John Williams.
Lover! What a gorgeous surprise. Is anything wrong?
Do they have like a weird open relationship? Since they're so clearly involved with other people in their marriage.
So I got us 2 seats for the symphony. We'll be all alone in a box together.
What do you think I am, you lying? You didn't buy those tickets today, your husband did.
What?
My wife's deep devotion to you. Why, she looks on you as her own father, don't you, Lily?
I'll see to it that neither one of you ever works again on any stage.
Stop it!
Roger!
So they were blackmailing him.
Stop it! Stop it, both of you!
She killed him with a bottle of lotion. Why did I think that they hit him over the head with like a brick or something?
Dead.
Wow, he died pretty quickly. Their very chill, nonchalant approach to this is impressive, because if I were in their shoes, I would be dying of anxiety. But then again, I wouldn't have killed him in the first place.
Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my...
I think there's a Star Trek episode called Dagger of the Mind, too.
What on earth's going on?
Oh, excuse me, Mum.
Okay, this gentleman here. I need to figure out who this guy is, because I swear he's done voice acting. His voice is so familiar to me, and I can't pinpoint it.
Just wanted you to be comfortable.
Maybe I just didn't look hard enough.
Tomorrow and tomorrow.
It'll be tomorrow if you don't get a move on.
Life, the walking shadow, poor player. Struts and
Frets
frets
his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. I have a printout of that exact line from Macbeth on my wood board in my office. It's one of my most favorite quotes.
Why, that's most gracious of you, sir. Bless you both.
I swear, maybe I've Maybe it's because I watched Mary Poppins recently, but that guy sounds like a character from Mary Poppins, or he's done some voice acting. I just can't pinpoint it. Now here's our first appearance of Greystone Mansion. And this is really weird because honestly, this place hasn't changed much in 50 years. It looks exactly like that, with like a few missing plants here and there, but for the most part, it looks the exact same. That mansion does. Unfortunately, during my visit, they wouldn't let us go inside because they only do specific tours at specific times of the year, but we got to walk on the outside of the property, and it is huge. They are taking such a huge risk. My anxiety could never.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly.
Punch him. Ugh. I'm sorry, that just made me want to punch him. Ugh. Thespian.
Now, why don't you some ruddy great detective from Los Angeles? That's who.
Detective. Ma'am, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I thought it was my bag. You see, I lost my bag, ma'am.
I just love that he's never what people expect.
Well, I'd like to help this lady.
No, thank you.
I'm quite sure you can explain it all to the inspector, sir.
I like how this episode demonstrates, and particularly little moments like this, it demonstrates that Columbo, yes, he is that bumbling and fumbling. Like, what I'm saying is his personality is that sweet.
Not a police lieutenant, is he? I was just about to put the arm on this light finger. You what? Him? Blimey.
Him? Blimey.
There he is, Sarge.
You have everything back in
Yes,
there.
oh, these. I need these.
Oh my gosh, the fact that he left the office to go and help her.
Ma'am, I'm terribly sorry about that.
This is just the best thing about his character. He is a very warm person. Oh, how refreshing is it to have a main character that has no cynicism to be found. Now, this episode is like, how many show-off shots of London can we incorporate? This is our one abroad episode, guys. Got to make it count. I would be lying to you guys if I said I didn't enjoy the tourist Columbo parts of this episode. Do some of them go on a little too long? Yes. But come on, this is so cute. It's just adorable. He's so tiny in the crowd. I love it. Are these just all random people on the street where they were just like, just go film and run around and take pictures? I wonder what they told him. They're like, okay, just go into the crowd and do a bunch of random stuff and we'll just film you doing it in the crowd.
Wait till my brother-in-law sees that picture. Thank you very much for stopping. Gee, I hope I put the film in right.
Oh, I love when they include stuff like that. His character really is that earnest and sweet. Like, two things can be true at once. You can have a very sweet, non-cynical character that will also get down to business when it's time to get down to business.
But it wasn't old Scotland Yard, no. It was New Scotland Yard, but,
Okay.
picture.
Where the devil have you been? That plane got in 2 hours ago.
This guy.
I didn't realise it was Irie on. He's never been here before.
This guy. This guy looks like a combination of both Sherlock Holmes and Watson.
I say.
The British isms. I say, blimey. It's a little tropey. You know, it's a little stereotypical.
Well, I certainly don't want to get in your hair, sir.
Nonsense. I'm the one that's messing up your schedule.
Beg pardon?
We were supposed to...
Nonsense. I'm the one who's messing up your schedule. I was going to say, who's driving? I only ever saw them get into the car. I was like, who's driving this thing? Greystone Mansion is literally in the heart of Beverly Hills. Like, you drive through this little neighborhood and then all of a sudden you turn in and you're there. It wasn't what I expected at all. So weird to have stood where they stood 50 years later. It's definitely a time capsule of sorts. Like, that is exactly what it looks like.
He was properly disturbed finding the master expired.
This feels so tropey British.
Just took his lordship off, they did, to have him properly coffined.
Columbo's face.
What did he say? His lordship died of some sort of accident.
Why?
In times of trial, I always say there's nothing like cold beer.
I'll just have a word with the servants, Columbo. Look around as much as you like.
Peter Falk did say this episode felt very gimmicky, and I think he was spot on about that. You know, this episode does feel like a bit of a gimmick. Especially with the portrayal of the constable and the British people. It just seems so, like, over the top British. Like, hey, it's the British episode of Columbo, so it's really in your face about it. I don't know, but then again, I know that this episode isn't universally super liked. I think it's considered one of the weaker Columbo episodes, but in my opinion, the weaker Columbo episodes are usually better than most of the stuff that I see on TV today, so I'll take it. Just sneak in a quick drink. If he took that and drank out of that, that would have been hysterical.
Tanner's been the butler here for over 20 years, Columbo.
Sorry, every time this guy walks in, I'm like, I don't even want to say it. I don't want to be mean.
No, I couldn't help noticing that a man with such an impressive library, isn't it funny what he did to that book?
That is a good detail.
This is a valuable book, isn't it?
I imagine it's worth a few thousand, yes.
And you know, you can break that thing by putting it down upside down like that.
Yeah, something I really like about this show in general is Columbo relies on his knowledge of human nuances and human tendencies to notice things like that. It's a little weird to prop a coffin up on the middle of a theater stage. Hamming it up enough, sweetheart? Not the orchestra, too.
The dam has got very stiff upper lip.
What about Macbeth?
Are they just both in other relationships and they're chill with it? I mean, I get what they were doing to Haversham, but they seem so chill with the other person just doing whatever they want.
It's a lucky thing I packed a spare in my pocket instead of my suitcase.
Thank you.
I will never not love him.
Terrible time to ask, but how could I get tickets? I'd love to see the show tonight.
I had a word with the funeral chaps. They're bringing the body.
The funeral chops. Like, it's just... It's so on the nose, the portrayal of the British in this one.
I rather had it on my mind to request a post-mortem.
I rather had it on my mind to request a post-mortem. Is this one of the only episodes where the murder wasn't...
He came here last
Well,
night.
wasn't
He must have been talking
premeditated?
to someone.
Or were the murders committed on accident?
Oh, child, don't be absurd. Besides, I can handle Miss Dudley.
I'll have your guts for garters.
I'll have your guts for garters. Ugh, I just want to punch them both.
False face must hide what the false heart does know.
Punch him. Punch both of them, for all I care. I'm sorry. Okay. This, you have to admit that this is adorable. I thought it was so charming the first time I watched it. So cute! You know, it's just a nice little insight into Columbo's personality. Yes, he does put on a facade with people, and he misleads them, but I legitimately think that this is the way his character is. Also, is this gimmicky? 100%. But I can excuse this specific part of the episode simply because it is just so heartwarming and cute.
As if you didn't know more about postmortems than I do, Lieutenant.
Peter Falk's facial expressions are so good here.
Oh, yes.
Do start, don't wait for us.
The abdomen, too. Notice there where the...
Columbo's face.
Early evening to midnight. I've got the...
Then Sir Roger did not die by falling down a staircase.
That would be me.
He died somewhere else, and then he was moved there later on, causing that brain hemorrhage there. Do you agree, Lieutenant?
Oh yes, it's murder, all right.
I felt that in my soul.
Yes, well, you see, the autopsy showed the, but we won't go into those little details.
Please call us if there's anything we can do, Mr. Duck.
My dear fellow, you already have. You already have.
This episode definitely feels like the American interpretation of what British people must be like.
Excuse me.
And he has honed in on his suspects.
You won't forget my ticket for tonight.
No, I'll leave it at the box office in my name.
There is no way I would feel safe riding in a car like that. So low to the ground. I feel like if somebody hit me, I would die immediately.
Hook, line, and sinker.
I don't like them.
Ma'am, I didn't mean to pry. See, I was just asking him about the rain.
Lily, get your clothes off. It's time to celebrate.
Lily, get your clothes off. It's time to celebrate.
Your wife might know Sir Roger better than you do, sir. But at any rate,
Come along, Nick, darling. We're having a simply smashing party.
Very questionable marriage and relationship here.
Well, he was making fatherly eyes at one of the understudies.
Lily is paranoid, so I struck her back.
In a not very nice place.
They're almost insufferable.
He took my bloody dagger, and I went at him.
Columbo's like, I can't wait till I get to arrest you.
You know, when my wife and I try to remember what happened yesterday or the day before, well, we don't agree on anything. You not only agree, you use almost the exact same words to tell about it.
Understanding human nuance, the propensity towards behaving a certain way, the psychology behind it. They really show why Columbo's techniques work is because he intimately understands how human beings work.
I heard it 1,000 times. I heard it once. The Queen is...
Who is this guy? It's gonna drive me crazy. I need to look him up. He kind of sounds like he sounds like the fox. Like the cartoon fox in Mary Poppins, the one that Bert rescues. Oh my god. Arthur, his name is Arthur Malet, and he was in Mary Poppins. He was the kid. He was the kid of the old banker guy. You know, the one that pops out Mr. Banks's hat? Oh my gosh, I knew it! I knew he was in Mary Poppins. Yes, he was Mr. Dawes Jr. That completely adds up. It's the guy that goes, "Father died laughing!"
Father died laughing!
I knew he was in Mary Poppins. Can't miss a voice like that, too. It's too iconic.
You have a minute, sir? Excuse me.
Don't touch me.
Sorry? This is me, Columbo, C-O-L-U-M-B-O.
You want to ask me about yesterday?
I do, sir, yes.
Oh, no.
Did Mr. Havisham come to the theater?
Still asks him anyway.
I mean, couldn't Sir Roger have maybe come to the theater?
Are you calling me a liar?
No, sir.
You know something, bleeding Johnson left it. My brolly, right up there at the pub. As I was saying to Mr. Frame...
To Mr.?
Frame.
You mean Mr. Frame was just now in that same pub?
I thought he stayed in the cottage. Oh well.
I'm sorry, madam, but the police were rather explicit.
Oh, hang the police.
Hang the police? That was really close. What a bathrobe. Wow. Wow. What a bathrobe is what I meant to say.
Well, it's about an umbrella.
An umbrella? Come with me.
I've always wanted to be in a horror film.
Well, you certainly qualify.
That facial expression was so over the top. So ridiculous.
When are you opening your exhibit?
In a few days.
That is the same area from
People do enjoy that sort.
Etude in Black. That's the jazz club, is it not?
Now then, exactly what is it you're looking for in here?
The umbrella, sir. I mean, if the stage doorman's umbrella somehow got mixed up with Sir Roger's...
Quite.
And of course, it had the material changed time and again.
No, you're wrong. You have to be wrong.
It is Sir Roger's. I recognize it myself.
Who else has been asking you about umbrellas?
No one.
Are you certain?
Absolutely.
Mr. Tanner. Mr. Tanner's weighing his options here.
So your bird has flown.
Huh? What?
Your little theory, Columbo.
Get off your pretentious high horse, Fat Watson.
At least it's been amusing chasing an American wild goose for a change, eh?
Hey, I don't like your tone with him.
Oh, I'm lovely. I'm gorgeous. I'm the greatest actress in Sarah Bernhardt.
Oh my god, you know what they remind me of? Their laughing fits, like ha 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 ha. They remind me of Prince John from Disney's Robin Hood. I know that's a funny thing to bring up, but the way he laughs when he goes, aha, 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 aha. That's exactly what they sound like.
Oh, good morning, madam. I brought you some croissant, fresh.
Croissant. I thought you'd like to eat something nice before I blackmail you.
Tanner, was it you, by any chance, who happened to notice my husband buying tickets at Covent Garden the other day and told Sir Roger about it?
Wow, Tanner. You snake.
Tanner, what sort of wages would you expect?
Oh, that's terrific. Thing that old, it's only a minute smoke.
Really? We must put another penny on the governor.
What? Dude, why are you being so pretentious?
Nicky, supposing you had a flat tire.
Nicky, supposing you have a flat tire.
I know we do. This deed I'll do before this purpose cools.
Yes, please stop acting. The quotes are a bit much. Oh, yeah, I forgot what happens here. Oh, man.
Mr. Tanner, where are you, sir? We're trying to phone you from the house.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, if there was potential they could have gotten off, it's completely gone now. I don't know. They dug themselves a massive hole. These are not the smartest people.
It's not your fault there are no clues.
And all we needed was one little one.
Well, as I always say to the missus, sir, a policeman's lot is not an happy one.
Yeah.
I like this guy. I would have taken him over discount Sherlock and Watson.
Now we gotta call Mr. Dirk, ask him to meet us there. Oh, and I want to buy something, an umbrella.
Of course, we got your message, hurried over as quickly as we could.
Aren't you a little late with the opening?
His hands that are so high in his pockets. Or his vest. So dorky.
Thank you very much, sir. Excuse me.
That guy's like, I don't want to be here for this final act.
Columbo.
Get rid of your attitude, Dirk.
Dirk, will you please explain what we're doing here?
Why don't you ask the tour guide?
Well, what about the other one? Isn't Mr. Havisham ready?
Oh, yes, yes.
Boy, isn't that something.
Intimidation.
Kind of shakes you, doesn't it?
Well, if you think we're going to play some sort of charade with this ridiculous...
See, Mr. Frame, I'm always getting you angry. It must be my accent or something.
Trolling.
I don't think Mr. Tanner killed anybody like the newspapers are saying. I think it was you.
Aha! Aha!
You know, I've been watching people to see what they do with umbrellas when they come in out of the rain. So I got to thinking, if maybe that's what Sir Roger did with his umbrella, and something dropped into it that night. Ma'am, the other night I stepped on a pearl in your dressing room. I have some more just like it. I got it from your costumer. She says...
Nicky looks like he's gonna cry.
Jones, bring us that umbrella, would you?
Well, ma'am?
It's kind of a reach, isn't it?
Sir.
Oh, that look from him was so good, though, from Columbo.
That was my fault.
I understand.
It was an accident. I swear it.
They would have had a much better chance if they just didn't kill Tanner.
And Fiore? Tomorrow.
Can somebody punch him? I'm so over Nicky. Goodbye forever, Nicky and Lillian Stanhope. You will not be missed.
How did you know that bead was in there?
Just the odds.
The odds were very poor, and you know it. Come now, you can do better than that.
Just a little trick I learned. Yes.
By Jove.
He tricked them into incriminating themselves. Oh, Columbo, you sneaky man. Okay, that makes more sense, because I was about to be like, I was gonna say that ending was not the greatest gotcha, but it's a little bit more redeemable if Columbo tricked them into incriminating themselves. Okay. And as we pan out, we see Columbo slowly ascend the stairs in London after a questionable victory over the killer, I guess. Killers. Okay. You know what, you guys? I kind of have to agree with Peter Falk on that. That episode is very... sorry, this is just not the best setup today. Hopefully I won't have to do this next time. Yeah, I have to agree with Peter Falk on that. He said that he felt the episode was too gimmicky, and I have to agree with him there. It's just, it feels so tropey. Like the episode's too aware that it's taking place in London, and it's too aware of the British setting, and it just makes every effort to remind the viewer that they're in London and they're around British people with the over-the-top British sayings and the accents and the Shakespearean quotes from Nikki. It's just a little too on the nose, and it kind of wore me down.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Now, that being said, all Columbo episodes have something to enjoy. I loved Columbo's little touristy cutscenes. I thought that they were very cute. Probably didn't need to lean into them as much, but I think it endears you to the character, and I think he's so adorable when he's trotting through London and just taking pictures of everything. It feels very much like something he would do, so I did like that. Dirk should have apologized to Columbo at the end and been like, your methods are unconventional, but I respect my American counterpart or something. Like, I think they needed some kind of dialogue at the end between Dirk and Columbo where Dirk's like, I don't understand you, but respect. And it would have been nice to see a little bit of dialogue, like giving a nod to Columbo, because they have that, oh, you placed the pearl there in order for the killers to incriminate themselves, but it just didn't feel, I don't know. Dirk was rude to Columbo, and I just wanted some kind of final I respect you moment, but it's whatever. I think the Stanhopes are ridiculously annoying. No offense to the actors.
We'll do whatever you say. Aren't we always the little lambs?
I just don't think they're that likable as the antagonists. Ordinarily, you tend to like the antagonists and you like watching them go up against Columbo. The Stanhopes just seemed a little childish, a little, I don't know, the gimmick again. I don't think Peter Falk was wrong on that. I just didn't enjoy them very much as characters, and I didn't find them to be super engaging as people to watch. I just wanted to punch them. I mean, especially Nikki. God, could he have been more annoying?
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly.
The plot is okay. I was starting to feel the episode length at the end. You know, I think that episode's like an hour and 35, an hour and 40, and you do kind of feel it at the end. I would have almost liked to see them do something with the Joe character as opposed to the Tanner character. Something that they could have done to make the episode more engaging is if they took the character of Joe and then the Stanhopes tried to pin the murder on him somehow. I feel like that would have been a little bit more interesting, at least, because I thought Joe's character was a little bit more likable, and I think that you could have created a lot of sympathy for him if they tried to pin the murder on him. But I would have to say that's probably one of the weaker ones that we've watched alongside Dead Weight. Like, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's certainly not that strong either. Okay, guys, I'm gonna read a short tidbit from Shooting Columbo, and then I will share my mini segment on Greystone Mansion. Well, first things first, it says they shot in London for a week. It says only about a fourth of the scenes would be filmed in London, mostly exteriors that featured iconic buildings or sites like the Tower of London. All other interiors would be filmed on the Universal lot or at the Greystone Mansion in Beverly Hills, which was used as Haversham's country estate. It goes on to say here, Falk didn't like the idea. He thought it was too gimmicky, but seemed to enjoy his visit. While in costume, the actor was complimented by one local attendant. "You're wise, sir, to have brought your raincoat." Falk smiled. You'd better believe it. NBC wanted to show as much of London as possible, including a 2-minute sequence Falk had ad-libbed, scrambling through the crowds near Buckingham Palace, trying to take pictures of the changing of the guard. That makes perfect sense. So they were probably like, hey, Peter, just run in there and do some stuff that you think Columbo would do and we'll add it in. What? A final scene was cut from the end was more likely a censor's cut. At the Wax Museum, Columbo flicks a bead into a goblet to demonstrate to Dirk how a pearl from Lily's broken necklace ended up in Haversham's umbrella. Tourists were then supposed to be shown streaming in to view the exhibits, among them script girl Miss Dudley. Without thinking, Columbo was supposed to flick another bead in the direction of the goblet, but it was going to land in Miss Dudley's cleavage. I don't know why that would have been in the episode, but probably smart to delete that because it would have been really random and unnecessary. The other deleted scene that they apparently cut is that the episode was supposed to open with Nick consulting a spiritualist. And it was supposed to be in the style of the three witches foretelling Macbeth's doom, which is interesting. Those are your short little fun facts from shooting Columbo. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy the following segment on Greystone Mansion with the pictures and the video and a little bit of background information. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel before you leave today. I would love to hear your thoughts on this episode. Do you guys like it? Do you not like it? Where does it rank for you? Not my favorite, but also not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's fine at best, I would say. But I would love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment, let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoy the following segment on Greystone Mansion. See you later.